not normal.
Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Business Spotlight Series, episode 41. Today we're here with Bobby Mock with Palmer Auto. How are you doing today, Bobby?
Pretty good, and you?
Oh, very well. Excited to have you on for our first one of the new year here. This is cool. Obviously, for people that don't know, our chamber office is actually inside of Palmer Automotive, so I get the pleasure of seeing Bobby and his staff all the time, which is excellent. But let's start off as we always do and have you give us a little bit of bio on yourself and kind of what brought you all the way up to where we are today.
All right. Well, so, I graduated here. I went to school here. I was born here. I started at Village Motors in 1983. Went to school. Tom Stockton had sent me to Chrysler to school for like 9 months continuous at Chrysler Corporation. So went through that, got stuffed into the service manager job there because of the health of the service manager. Quick forward ahead, left there because of my parents being in a car accident, and we had a trucking company to take care of that. And then I started here in 1999 until the dealership closed. And when the dealership closed, we leased the building back from the Palmers.
Okay.
Biff Weber, and started just running the service end of it instead of having a car dealership. So learned a lot along the way. I can run a service department, and I knew that, but running the business part of it was a whole new learning experience. So, but I'm glad to be, I love being downtown. It's really kind of nice to be in the town that you grew up in, doing this. And so I enjoy working with people.
Yeah.
I enjoy working on cars. So kind of mix it together and.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be really cool to be in the same town you grew up in. It sounds like you had kind of a roundabout. You're always sort of right there in that industry, whether it was the sales, the trucking company, the this, the that, and all of a sudden here you are right back on Main Street, running on, shopping downtown. It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool stuff. So for the people that don't know, obviously there's a good amount of auto shops out there and repair shops. I was hoping today you could give us a little bit of insight into a few of the things you guys do that people might not know about that might set Palmer Auto aside.
So I would say the biggest thing that we do, I know that there's nobody in town that does, is our digital inspection. So there's a certain criteria that the technicians have to take of the car. Good or bad, and then anything else that they would like to take a picture of to make the customer aware of their vehicle. And then that will get sent out either via email or text or both. And then the customer can open it up and they can go down through and see the notes that were put in there, the pictures that were taken, or i.e. videos. I mean, we find some loose parts or something, and you can actually show them how loose it is, or
right.
It's a great tool for communication. Not everything that goes into that is something that might need to be done today. It could be something just to let them know that, hey, this is coming up and this is something we can plan for. So that, because sometimes you can get some pretty hefty investments into your car, and you got to spread it out a little bit, and this allows them to see it, and it's quite a awesome tool. So,
well, no, that sounds great. I mean, as somebody who has no knowledge of how to fix a car and hasn't really worked in that industry, I can tell you right now, as a consumer, every time someone at the auto shop tells you need to get something done on your car, there's a certain amount of, scared, like, I don't know, can I trust this person and whatnot? Now, obviously, you've got a lot of long-standing relationships, and that helps you in that department. But the concept of being able to see it, being able to have that picture, like, here's what we're talking about. You can see this is what one should look like. This is what yours looks like. Is got to bring a lot of ease to a customer and make them feel a lot more at home. And that concept of also showing them things that are going to need to get taken care of versus like, well, let's just take care of it right now. It's like, no, you need to start planning for this. And I just think that's great. That is exactly, I'm not the only person, I'm sure, that has those fears when they go in and you don't know anything. It's like, okay, well, they said this needs to be fixed, so I guess it needs to be fixed. But with a tool like that, I imagine that's very helpful for the customer. Yeah.
It makes good for good talking points because you can actually talk about it. You can explain to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that, I know that myself and my staff, we like to make people feel a little more personable.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a big, huge conglomerate or something, you're just a number, and that's the way they make you feel. It's how fast can I get you in and how fast can I get you out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way
You're not trying to be the fast food of auto service, basically.
No. Yeah. No.
You want to be the common grill of auto service. That's the goal.
Yes. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and that's fantastic. I know you guys do a lot of other stuff too, with your inspections and stuff like that. But as far as your guys' connection to the community, which you've already stated is so clearly important to you, you guys do a lot of different things. One thing you just finished up with was Toys for Tots. You guys are a collection point for that. Could you tell us a little bit about that, how long you guys been doing that and whatnot?
So Susie Palmer Weber started that back in 1987.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I can't recall. I know that Bridget had just done something, an article with that, but she started in 87. And it ran up into, obviously when the dealership closed, and we continued that on.
Yeah.
I can remember one time that it was so big that there was so much financial money donations that we went to the toy house when the toy house was open in Jackson.
Yeah, I remember the toy house. Yeah.
We spent over $20,000 there.
Oh.
We all took our kids there with the kids were shopping. It was just, obviously that was pretty phenomenal. We've never seen anything since then like that, but it was quite a big deal then. So we enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great cause. My biggest thing is that it focuses on people here in this community before anything spread out to outside communities. Where the Marine Corps, is nationwide. You dump it off of there, and that's a great cause too. But
right,
I just like it because it's hometown. Yeah.
You like to see that impact right in your own community. That makes perfect sense. And that is great. I know that even this year in 2020, when, people are probably a little less likely to give, everyone's feeling the pressure financially and stuff. I know there was still a massive pile of toys under that Christmas tree in the front lobby. So it's a real testament to your guys' efforts in getting the word out, as well as just this community's devotion to making sure that people in need are taken care of. So I applaud you for being a part of that. It's great. Speaking of which, you guys have something new you're doing for 2021 called the 2021 Acts of Kindness. And I know you're still ironing it all out, but if you could give us a little bit of a summary of what's going to happen there.
So the first month, and this is the only one we've got mapped out so far, but our first month is where we want people to go to our Facebook page and tell them about their favorite downtown business. And I mean downtown, the main blocks down here. And we're going to choose one person out of there, and for the business they picked, and we will give them a $210 gift card to that business.
That's awesome. And you're going to draw on the 21st, correct?
Correct. It'll be drawn on January the 21st.
And so each month you guys will probably do something different, but it'll always be 21st, of the month, kind of tying that whole 2021 thing in there.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. And we did put your Facebook up in the comments. So if anybody wants to enter for that and see more details, just go to their Facebook page, which you can find in the comments, as well as their website, which we put in there. But that's very cool. It's been really impressive to watch this community do so many things like this as hard times have hit. It seems like every day you turn around and it's another shining example of the community and the businesses trying to support the other ones around them, really with no other motive. It's just helping. And I love it. The camaraderie of Chelsea is just unbelievable. So That's awesome. Now, we usually like to finish these up with something a little fun just to help people get to know you and, to understand who's running the business they're taking their car to, if you will. So over the Christmas break, hopefully you had a little bit of downtime. And I'm just curious if you got into any shows or movies or anything over the holiday.
So I did. I was at my daughter's house on Christmas Eve, and they were watching Yellowstone. And honestly, I probably have heard of it, but never even really paid attention to it. And I got into it pretty hard. And then so that weekend, so must have been the 26th and 27th, they ran a marathon on Paramount.
Oh.
So I recorded every episode, 3 seasons, and I just finished season 3, the last episode last night. So that was the only. I'm hoping they continue on and I can watch that. But yeah, I did find that to be interesting. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's quite a marathon too. 3 seasons in about a week there. Yeah, that's how
every night.
It's easy to binge them, man. It's fun, especially when you're dealing with Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner is always good. So that's great. Yeah, I actually haven't got to check that one out yet. We don't have that channel, but I know these days you can find anything somewhere. It'll pop onto Hulu or
someplace. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have to check that out. I love Kevin Costner. He's great. Well, thanks, Bobby. Thanks for giving us some insight into Palmer Auto and your history. That's just such a cool story. I didn't realize that there was such a connection to the community going back so long. Just because I forgot to, you are running quite a family business around there too. I wanted to mention that earlier. You've got your boys. I don't know. Who all do you got running around that place?
So there's my dad, who's 80. And then I have my son-in-law, Brian, and my 2 sons. And then, so she's not really blood family, but she might as well be. I have Stephanie Hine and her son.
Got you.
So I mean, it's a pretty tight knit group. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of sarcasm sometimes, but you know how that kind of goes. But yeah, it's these guys and gals. Actually, I should mention my Bailey Bug. She's like my stepdaughter. A good friend of mine's daughter, but so everybody band together through this COVID pandemic, and we put together some processes, and some people like them, some people don't, but it's really kept these guys coming to work. They feel safe. What you've gone through, and what I've gone through here. So yeah, it's been hard, but they've struggled through it. And
no, I know from day one of your main concerns was the safety of your employees and stuff. Yeah. So I can appreciate that there's a real family feel around there, whether it's all the literal family members you got there or just the other people that you treat like that. So that's great. Well, thanks again, Bobby, for coming by. Thank you, Shasta Grifka and Grifka Marketing, for sponsoring and facilitating as always. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, Bobby.
Thank you, sir.